think they're trying to protect Brook Lynn, like they want Brook Lynn involved in the storyline, but she can't look like the villain in the storyline. They couldn't have Brook Lynn actually cause the accident because then she wouldn't be Saint Brook Lynn anymore. So how could they do that? So instead we get this half-assed version of it. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm here for my very quick review of yesterday's General Hospital episode, the Tuesday episode from the show, April 28th. It was an episode way too dedicated to that damn storyline of Jordan and Curtis getting into an accident, even though it was Curtis's fault for being all seductive to Jordan. While she was driving, she's blaming herself for that. But there's still this half-assed storyline where somebody else was sort of involved in the accident, or at least didn't stop when the accident happened and kept driving. It's a weak plot for us to be like, why is Curtis going around huffing and puffing? Why is he blaming Isaiah? And I get why he's blaming Isaiah, because it's going to be some sort of drama for Portia, probably drama for Isaiah and Portia if Isaiah is looking like the culprit. And then Curtis and Isaiah are going to have their little manly quips with each other when they're getting into it with each other. I don't know. I'm already over it. Not looking forward to seeing how this storyline plays out. But yesterday, let's recap it a little bit. Trina and Portia were going over Portia's pregnancy. Trina is feeling bad for Jordan, saying that Jordan's condition is making it not so fun that they're doing this family project to do the nursery together. And Trina is feeling like she was too rude to Jordan for a long time because, she blamed Jordan for breaking up Curtis and Portia. And I guess Trina is saying that Jordan always kind of was the bigger person with their whole interactions. So they have Trina feeling bad for Jordan. And, I would be okay with them kind of repairing a Trina and Jordan relationship of some kind. The only thing I'm enjoying with this storyline is the Justine and Jordan friendship. I'm glad that they had made them friends in the first place and that they're continuing that. Justine bringing Jordan clothes at the hospital. Jordan liked a specific hoodie that Justine brought because Jordan thinks she can go incognito with that hoodie, cover up the scar on her face. They sort of addressed one of my problems with the storyline. Jordan was apologizing for her self-pitying, and Justine is trying to tell Jordan that she's someone that Jordan can confide in and tell the truth to about how she's feeling. And Jordan was saying that she probably seems shallow and that she should be lucky to be alive, which is what I've been saying. I still think my problem with the story is that they moved way too fast from, Jordan not even being thankful to be alive to immediately feeling so bad about the scar on her face. They kind of jumped to that way too quickly. But Justine did talk to Jordan about how women do have to care about their looks, and they addressed how Jordan feels like she might not be able to be like a go-between for Sidwell because of the scar on her face. Maybe Sidwell would even fire her for it. So I will say they did a better job of explaining Jordan's point of view about the way she feels about the scar on her face. They need to do more of that to make this storyline a little less unappealing, because it's just a weak plotted story. That's the problem with it. And this is such a plot-driven show. To have one of your main plots that you're really putting a lot of time into be so weak is kind of stupid, and that's why I've been saying they're half-assing this writing. But I don't think it's totally half-assed. I think they're trying to protect Brook Lynn, like they want Brook Lynn involved in the storyline, but she can't look like the villain in the storyline. They couldn't have Brook Lynn actually cause the accident because then she wouldn't be Saint Brook Lynn anymore. So how could they do that? So instead we get this half-assed version of it. But what I like about the Jordan and Justine friendship is it's someone in Jordan's orbit that's not Curtis. I feel like the black characters on this show, they all have to revolve around Curtis. Even Trina lately, from what I've seen from the show, revolves around Curtis. Instead of having their own stories branching out into other stories right now, it all revolves around Curtis's bald head. It's like the sun in this storyline. So that's annoying, but I like that at least Justine is good friends with Jordan. Curtis was talking to Michael at the beginning, discussing Jordan's accident. That's when we learned that Curtis is just so certain that Isaiah was the other car. Meanwhile, Portia was talking to Lucas. Well, this was after, I guess, Isaiah talked to Lucas first. We learned from Isaiah that he allegedly scratched up his SUV in the parking garage. So we don't know if this is a real story that he is telling or if he really scratched it up the night of the accident. But they are definitely trying to make Isaiah another possible suspect in who didn't stop for the accident. And so I'm sure Curtis is going to use that scratched up car to continue to attack Isaiah about this. But later, Portia and Lucas had a conversation about Portia wanting to get a specialist for Jordan's face, because Portia and Trina had a conversation about how past mistakes, you always have time to make up for past mistakes. And I guess that's what Portia's trying to do with Jordan now. But then towards the end, Curtis talked to Justine and is pushing her to look into Isaiah as a suspect. So there we have it again. Curtis is going to be so insufferable with the storyline. He already is to me. So yeah, I don't love this car accident storyline on General Hospital. And if this is the big story going into May sweeps, well then, good luck, because it's not a good one. It is not a well-written storyline, in my opinion. I did like the Isaiah and Kai scenes, where Isaiah had Kai come over and talk to a young little patient who I guess was a big fan of Kai. I thought those were at least cute. But Kai started this episode with Willow and helping her with her Congress schedule. Kai learned that Willow is prioritizing trying to get into a committee to look over the WSB funding over a child and safety thing. So Willow already going against one of her talking points, which is child and safety laws, and already looking into how she can stop the WSB from having more influence. This is obviously just so she can have blackmail on Brennan, as we discussed last week. I still think it's pretty far-fetched that Willow, who is very new to Congress, and someone in the comments said she's a junior congresswoman, would be able to get on a committee so quickly and be able to gain power in that committee. That's what they have her trying to do. I liked when Michael came over, though. I'm all for Michael and Willow scenes. I think they have good chemistry, even though, they're always at odds. I'm not saying that I want Willow and Michael to come back together, but I'm saying it's always possible. Despite how villainous Willow is, there's far more chemistry between Willow and Michael than Michael and the hooker. But Michael came over to talk about Willow being so mean to hooker Jacinda with threats that she would take the kids away from Michael. Willow is now saying she realized that they shouldn't be at each other's throats and she's so sorry. But Michael thinks she's just apologizing because she needs him to sign off on taking her kids on a vacation. And then Chase showed up with flowers for Willow to thank Willow for the whole baby Phoebe thing. Michael left. We had a conversation between Chase and Willow, which I'm also here for. Let's have Chase completely cheat on St. Brook Lynn. That's what I want to see. I am enjoying the Willow side of the show very much, especially if we are stuck with the Crash storyline that is poorly plotted. So we still have Chase not believing that Michael is trying to get along better with Willow. Chase still believes that Michael framed Willow for shooting Drew. So we're gonna need Chase and Willow to hook up if they're gonna go there before the truth comes out that Willow actually did shoot Drew. But Chase told Willow by the end that she is too good for Michael and always has been. And then, we did have some Brook Lynn and Chase with baby Phoebe. Tracy upset because the baby woke her up crying so much the night before she couldn't sleep. And then Brook Lynn and Tracy were talking about the accident again because Brook Lynn is still feeling guilty. I don't know why, because she didn't cause the accident. It just happened in front of her. But I understand that Brook Lynn might feel bad because she's Saint Brook Lynn and she left the scene of a car accident, which is a terrible thing to do for a saint. But then Trina arrived and they weren't sure if Trina overheard them talking about the accident, but she didn't. Trina just brought a package because they didn't deliver a package to the main house. And Brook Lynn brought up Jordan's accident, and Trina was saying that Jordan was going to make a full recovery, but her face may be scarred permanently. And then Brook Lynn started talking too much to Trina about the night of the accident and how she missed Trina's performance, but she wants to help Trina with her music. So when Trina left, Tracy was upset with Brook Lynn for talking too much with Trina, and just upset with Brook Lynn in general for the way she's acting about this accident. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, the car accident storyline is just not my favorite thing this show is doing. I would love them to get it over this week so that we can go into May sweeps with better storylines and maybe get some more action in the main storyline like we did with Jason's exit. That would be great. But we'll see what happens. That was all for yesterday's episode.